If you've got flat feet and you're looking for a way to fix them naturally without needing to use insoles, then today's video is perfect for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be showing you 3 great exercises to fix flat feet to give you better arches in your feet naturally. So flat feet, if we're looking at the model of a foot, this is the inside of your foot here, and you can see if we've got a normal foot, we've got a bit of an arch here. And I'll show you my arches in a minute, but basically what this arch does is it provides almost like a spring for force to be transmitted through the front of the foot out towards the back of the foot and then up through the heel to propel us forward. So having a nicely maintained arch is very, very important. And the thing that keeps the arch in place is threefold. We've got the ligaments in the foot which keep the arch in place in one respect. We've also got a muscle which wraps underneath the foot called the tibialis posterior, which helps to lift the arch like this. And then we also have a group of muscles that live within the foot called the internal foot muscles that keep the arch high. Now, if we have flat feet, what that means is basically the arch has dropped down, which means that there's no spring coming up through the inside of the foot. It also puts stress and strain not just on the foot, but on the ankle and on the knee and on the hip and even on the lower back as well. So having flat feet is generally thought of as not a great thing. Some people choose to fix it by putting orthotics in their shoes, but if you work hard enough at it for a number of months, it is possible to naturally improve your arches as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Let's have a look at 3 exercises to help you fix your arches. So if someone has got flat arches, basically what that looks like is this. So there's no gap here between the floor and the inside of the foot. So you can tell if you've got flat arches. Basically, if you walk in sand, your footprint will be totally flat. So there'll be no curve on the inside. So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is if you can feel the inside of your foot with your finger immediately when you try and stick a finger underneath there, that means your arches are probably flat. And you should be able to see a little bit of a shadow underneath the border of your foot when you stand with light above you. Now, normal arches look something like this. So we don't want them to be too high. We just want them to be kind of a little bit of a cave in there. So I like to say that there should be at least a couple of centimeters of space around here. You should be able to see the front part of your finger disappear when you put your finger underneath your foot without touching your foot at all. So these are normal arches. If you're up like that, that means your arch is too high, so that's also not a great thing. But for ideal foot mechanics, we want a bit of an arch which will allow us to land with our heel and then push through our toes when we walk with the maximum efficiency. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So I've got 3 exercises to show you today. These are designed to strengthen the muscles in the feet that hold the arch up. And the first exercise that we're going to do is called the standing inversion. And to make this exercise work, what we need is a very small elastic band which is wrapped up and tied in a knot like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to pop the elastic band around both feet like this, keeping yourself standing. So once you're in this position, what you're going to then do is you're going to stand with your feet nice and wide, and you're going to keep your toes in contact with the floor at all times. So once you've done this, you're going to feel that the band is pulling you into a flat-footed position. So what you're going to do is you're going to correct that and open the arch up even more whilst keeping your toes in contact with the floor. So you can see I'm making a nice big arch there using my feet. So my knees are staying pointing forward, my hips are staying relaxed, and all of the lifting is happening through the muscles in my feet. So I'm keeping my toes in contact with the floor and I'm just lifting that arch up. I'm contracting at the top. I'm going to try and hold that contraction for about 3 to 5 seconds and repeat probably around 10 or 15 repetitions. And what we're looking for when we do this exercise is a working ache that comes up the inside of the foot and the inside of the shin. And that's the tibialis posterior muscle starting to do its thing. So trying that regularly over a period of weeks can help to build a stronger arch. The next exercise to build stronger, higher arches is the heel raise with ball squeeze. So what you need is a tennis ball or something similar. I've got one of these massage trigger point balls here that I'm going to use. And all you're going to do is you're going to put the ball down on the floor like this, and you're going to stand with your feet either side of it with the ball in line with your heels, and you're going to grab the ball with your heels. Now you're going to squeeze the ball tight, and as you squeeze it, you're going to go up onto your tiptoes like this. Now it helps to do this in a corner or somewhere where you can put your hands on, because we're not really too fussed about working your balance for this exercise. It's all to do with strength. Now the magic with this exercise happens because we're squeezing the ball and lifting, which means we're activating that tibialis posterior muscle as well as using the calves. And that's how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to activate at the same time as when we take a step and push off with our calves. So it's a really relevant exercise for people who walk a lot. I'm going to show you from this angle here. So you grab the ball with your heels like this. I'm just going to use the walls for support. You squeeze and lift, and you should see that your arch is maintained all the way up. We're just going up onto our tiptoes for a bit and then coming down. And really what we want to do is go up, hold for a couple of seconds, and then very slowly back down to about the count of 2 or 3. So it's up, hold for 2, and then down to the count of 3. That would be a lovely tempo to make this exercise work. And what you want to do again is just work this exercise to the point of fatigue. For most people, that's going to be somewhere in the region of 10 to 20 repetitions, and you might try that a few times a day. Just to reiterate, none of these exercises should be painful. They should all feel comfortable, and only do them if it's safe for you personally to do so. Always make sure you're holding on to something for support. And then the final exercise I've got for you is called the banded inversion. Now this is one of my favorite exercises for isolating those muscles that invert the foot and lift the arch. It's a great exercise because you can feel it work really quickly. So the leg you're going to work, you're just going to bring up like this so it's crossed over your opposite knee. And again, we want another length of resistance band like this. We're just going to drape around the toes of the foot that we're going to work. Now we want to hold both ends of that resistance band like this. So we've got a nice bit of tension on the band. And you can see here I'm using my opposite arm to lock out against my thigh. So I've got a straight elbow, and that's like an anchor. Okay, so nothing moves now apart from the foot. Now the exercise is simple. All we're going to do is we're going to imagine we're trying to look at something on the bottom of our foot. We're going to turn it up and in, and then relax it back down. So I'll show you again. We're just going to turn the foot as if we're trying to look underneath it, and then bring it back and down. So again, we're just turning that foot in and bringing it back. And you can see when I relax that movement, so I'm contracting here, and as I relax, it's a little bit juddery. That means I should probably do more of these because it's a bit weak, but that's okay because it means what we're doing is we're working it in a way that it wants to be worked in. So you're going to do these in a repetitive way. You're going to try and do probably 10 or 15 of these in a row. It's a nice one to do when you're sat watching the telly, and you'll feel the muscles along here working really hard to keep that movement. You don't need a strong resistance band. This is quite a flexible one. It's quite flimsy, but because we're isolating a very small muscle, we don't need anything too dramatic. So try and get the lowest resistance band that you can find. Have a go at that. If you can do more than 15, find a slightly stronger band, but doing that little and often throughout the day will go a long way to fixing flat arches. So those are the 3 exercises that can help you build better arches in your feet. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, then please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below because I love to read your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, please do pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.